Hey loves, so the decluttering series continues and today we're going to tackle the blushes, and I did the declutter a little bit different, so I'm going to show you guys what I'm getting rid of, a few things I'm keeping, and also some favorites along the way. But I didn't go through every single blush because I just don't want this video to be excessively long, but the video is still going to be really long, I already know it. So make sure you grab a snack, get cozy, and let's get into it and talk all things blush. So I'm gonna lay out all of the blushes as I go. First declutter of the day, Profusion Blush Hour Soft Matte Liquid Blushes. Although I do really like these, I don't really love the packaging and I just haven't reached for them that often for that reason. I don't know, something about this sponge applicator, I just don't really love it. So I am gonna go ahead and get rid of them, but they are really cute. They have great shades. I love Profusion. I just wish the packaging on these was a little bit different. I'm also gonna get rid of the NYX Buttermelt Blush in the shade My Butter Half. I love this blush formula, but this color is just a little bit too bright for my skin. But I love these because you get a little bit of glow and it gives so much pigment, but it looks so vibrant and pretty on the cheeks. But like I said, this color is just a little bit too bright for my skin, but gorgeous formula. This is my personal favorite shade, Butter Together. It is the most beautiful soft baby pink and it gives a gorgeous glow to the skin. It's truly buttery smooth and I love NYX Cheeks products. This reminds me of something high-end, to be honest. This is one of my favorite affordable blushes. Definitely going to keep this color. That's why it's my go-to, because it's not too bright. But look at that glow, and I love how smooth these apply as well. So love this color. I'm going to keep, I think I'm also going to keep this one, Getting Butter. It's a little bit brighter too, but I feel like it's not as much as the one that I decluttered. Like, yes, but I think I can still make this work on my skin, especially even mixing these two together. That would be so pretty. But look at that beautiful sheen that this gives. 10 out of 10 formula, and I think this is actually only $10, which is amazing at the drugstore these days. And then this one is Suna the Butter, and this one I love in the summertime. If you're into more tangerine, orangey cheeks, this is gorgeous. I'm going to keep because I think I want to do like a monochromatic makeup look for summer, and this would be a perfect addition. So we're going to keep this. And then I'm also going to get rid of the Buttermelt blush in Feeling Butter. This one is a shimmering terracotta. Gorgeous shade. It's just a little bit too dark for my skin. I'm also going to get rid of these Milk Makeup Jelly Tints. Although I do think these are pretty cool. Like the packaging, it's cute, it's innovative. And that's what I love about Milk. I feel like they just have a lot of really unique type of products. And this gives a really nice tint and it's very natural. I think this is like for those of you who love a natural flush, you like that stained look to your cheeks and lips. It's just not something that I personally reach for all that often, but the jelly concept is pretty cute. It's just not my personal go-to. I prefer a regular liquid or cream blush. I have other Milk Makeup favorites, so I'm gonna get rid of these. Then I have the Hourglass Vanish Blush Stick. This one is in the shade Wonder. It's a really pretty peachy color, and it actually does apply very nice on the cheeks. I honestly just don't really reach for this all that often. I prefer the Hourglass powder blushes over this one, so I think I'm also gonna part ways with it, but it is a really pretty color. And then I think I'm also gonna part ways with this NYX and Barbie collab. I love this little trio though. It is really cute, but I'm already keeping 3 of the Buttermelt blushes, so I think it's time to part ways with these. But love this because you get a really pretty peachy orange blush, a hot pink, and then that golden highlighter. And if you mix these 3 together, it gives a beautiful summery cheek. But these are so vibrant and pigmented. Again, I can get that effect with the NYX Buttermelt blushes, so we're gonna part ways with this. Makeup Revolution also has, I feel like, just as many dupes as e.l.f. when it comes to high-end makeup, but they have the Jelly Blush lip and cheek stains as well, similar to Milk. This one is in the color Cherry. It's a pretty color, and again, I feel like this is a pretty good like spot on dupe. Whenever I did test out the Makeup Revolution blush tint though, I remember it blending really nicely into the skin, so I do feel like this is a nice alternative to the Milk one. If you don't want to spend a lot, this could be a nice option. But I am going to part ways with these as well because it's not my go-to blush formula. Now these blushes I love from Bosma Beauty. They are so creamy and they have nice buildable pigment. I don't really hear anybody talking about these, but the formula is great. So if this is a good splurge worthy blush, I am going to keep these. Another gorgeous glowy blush formula at Sephora is from LYS Beauty. Look at how beautiful these apply. Up top we have the shade Elite, Focused and bubbly. These look like a baked blush in a cream form. I love this formula. LYS has beautiful cream blushes. These I'm gonna keep, and I love how they're minis. House Labs blushes. These have also lots of pigment, but a really pretty soft matte finish. I'm gonna keep the Pomelo Peach shade here on the right. I'm gonna part ways with this one in Dragon Fruit Days. Very bright. I thought I could make this work, but unfortunately it's just a little bit too much for my skin, so I'm gonna donate. This is Pomelo Peach. These have such a soft, buttery consistency. I believe now they have a different formula or different shades, but I love this color. It's like a soft baby peach. Really pretty, not too bright, a good summer blush. Speaking of summer blushes, these new Kosas blush shades are beautiful for this time of year. From left to right, we have Chills, Wavelength, and Heartbeat. I love the way these apply. They are very vibrant and pigmented on the cheeks, but they blend beautifully into the skin. I'm also going to part ways with these ColourPop blushes because I'm going to keep a few other ones from ColourPop, and these I unfortunately never got around to using. They're brand new, so I feel like I might as well just donate them. They're so pretty. This one is in Obviously, and then this one is in A-Lister. Love ColourPop blush formulas. Let's go through some favorites really quick. Hourglass blushes. I love the color Sublime Flush. This one is one of my go-tos. And then recently I fell in love with Ethereal Glow. And now you can also customize your own palettes with Hourglass as well. So I created this little blush palette. So we have 3 blushes and then a finishing powder. And these are the colors that I chose in the back. Mood Exposure, Oasis Glow. The finishing powder is in Dim Light, and then another one in Mood Flush. Hourglass powders are next level, so we're keeping. Then we have the Milani Cheek Kiss Liquid Blush and Glow. If you love a glowy cheek, these are it. They blend so nicely into the skin. I really like this Physicians Formula bronzer and blush too. If you're ever on the go and you want something quick, this kind of also reminds me a little bit of the Hourglass finishing powder because it just gives this really soft, pretty sheen to the skin. And then we have a little dupe alert here. So this is the One Size Trio that I love. This is a nice everyday color in Cheek Clapper. And then we have the Makeup Revolution. I mean, honestly though, this is not an exact dupe, but it's a nice alternative, the Icon Blush. I also recently tried out the Winter Kissed shade from Kylie Cosmetics, and I love this blush. This is really pretty. It's a nice addition to other blushes. And if for an affordable option, if you love that cool toned pink, this one from Pretty Smart in Behind the Scenes is a beautiful option. You can get this brand at Walmart and it's so good. And here we have the next round of blushes. Let's start off with the first one that I know I'm getting rid of because I have too many Hourglass blushes, and that is this little mini guy here. It's a tiny ambient lighting blush in the shade At Night. I can't say that without thinking of that SpongeBob episode, At Night. This is a really pretty color. I just have too many Hourglass blushes. We have the customizable palette and the other 2 that I kept, so don't need it, but I randomly actually found this at Ross. Also gonna donate this Rare Beauty blush. This one is in the shade Faith, just because I don't really reach for these kind of colors for my skin tone, but it's gorgeous. I love the variety that Rare Beauty has with their liquid blushes. This is my personal go-to shade from Rare Beauty in the shade Bliss. It is the most beautiful light pink, and I feel like this is the one color from, it looks more peachy now that I'm looking at it, but this is the one color that you could apply so much of on your cheeks and it's not going to be too much. It's my favorite. So this we're keeping. I just wanted to give it an honorable mention. I'm looking though, I have this color here from Wet n Wild. Could this be a little dupe? This one is in the shade Berry True. I had to compare to see if it could be a dupe. I feel like the one from Wet n Wild, which is on the bottom, it's a little bit less plum and more of like a raspberry. And it's also a bit more sheer, as you can see, versus Rare Beauty, which is definitely gonna be much more pigmented. Also gonna part ways with this Hard Candy Blurring Blush. This one is in the shade Girl Crush. It's a really pretty color. It's very bright though. This is basically a neon purple, but I just don't really reach for colors like this for me, but if you like a pigmented purple blush, this one from Hard Candy is really nice, and I love this formula. I just don't really reach for this color. This is my personal favorite liquid blush from Hard Candy. It's the Luminous blush in Born Yesterday. The most beautiful glowy pink blush. This is very underrated. This is another blurring blush that is very bright in Hot Shot, but I feel like this one I like more on my skin because I could make this work versus the purple one. You see how it's like that sheer popsicle? The other one is actually even more pigmented than this one, but this I'm gonna keep. And I actually, look at those 2 together. That would be really pretty if you just mix. Nice. Oh, I like those 2 mixed. That's gorgeous. You see that sheen too from that luminous blush. It's a nice formula. Also gonna get rid of the Juvia's Place Blush Duo in volume 6. This is a nice color if you're into the warm tones, but I'm gonna keep 2 other ones that I'm gonna show you that I reach for more so than this one. These are the 2 that I really like. So volume 4 I like specifically for this color. It is the most beautiful cotton candy cool toned pink. And then I really like volume 2 because you kind of get the best of both worlds, the pink and then a really pretty orangey bronze shade as well. And this was a random find at TJ Maxx actually, but I found the Glamzilla and Nude Sticks collab there for 20 bucks. So this is a blush and bronzer duo in one in Flirty and Thriving. It's actually a really interesting product, and I did test this out already, and I really like Nude Sticks formula because it's very buildable, but it's easy to work with and it blends so nicely into the skin. So one side is a blush and then the other side is meant to bronze, but then of course you can also mix the 2 together. And then I know it doesn't really look like much on the skin, but once you blend these in, they do give you a really pretty flush to the cheeks. Again, you can also build up if you like, and these even blend nice with your finger too, but I like what this does to the skin. And then this one is in Dirty 30, which I love because it kind of gives that sunburnt look to the cheeks. I love the blend to these. You can also apply these to your lips. They look gorgeous on there as well. It's just like a nice buttery formula. And I recently also tried out the Nudies All Over blush color. This is a collab that they also did with the makeup artist. His name's Kevin. And this is the most beautiful, perfect bubblegum pink in Bubba. I'm also going to get rid of this Moira Love Heat Cream Blush in the shade I Miss You. It's a beautiful pink, but I feel like at this point it's just very expired because it's all melty. So we're going to part ways with this. Also going to get rid of this ABH Serum Blush in the shade Plum, just because again, I don't really reach for these kind of colors, but I love this formula. One of my favorite colors is in Hibiscus from ABH. The packaging is nice, but these are really blurring on the skin and they give the most beautiful pigment. I definitely applied a lot. You don't need this much, but I adore this formula. And I'm going to donate this extra Buttermelt blush that I have from NYX. I told you guys this is my favorite color, Butter Together. I'm also going to part ways with these Polite Society blushes. They are so cute. I love the packaging, but it's just not my favorite formula. I tried this color in Miami. It's a nice color. I just don't really love the way it applied. It was kind of patchy and just not super seamless. And then we have an extra one of these CoverGirl True Blend Skin Enhancer Blush Bombs. This one is in Bubblegum Pop, the most perfect bubblegum pink. Let me see which one. Okay, so this is the one that I used, and then this is a brand new one. Yeah, so we are gonna donate the brand new one and keep this one. Let me just show you how beautiful this applies and the color. So this is the color, absolute perfection, and on the skin these are even better, and they have really pretty shades, so this is a winner. I actually want to try this color out too, Sweet Violet. I feel like even though this is a little bit more of like a purple color, I feel like this could be more wearable on my skin versus some of the other violet shades. Even that would be like a really pretty combo. So we're going to keep this. And then this is my e.l.f. Putty Blush collection, which I am going to keep. I love the different shades, the formulas. The luminous version is beautiful, and then I love the regular matte version as well. So we are keeping, and I like to have these upside down so you could see the color underneath. And then this is the next round of blushes on the table. Starting off with the Milk Makeup Blush Stick. This one's in the shade Work. Love this color. It's just old and expired. It also has a bad smell, so I'm throwing this out. I have more of these soft matte liquid blushes from Profusion. Really pretty colors. Again, nice formula, but don't like the packaging, so I'm gonna get rid of these. And then we have these cream blushes here from Oma Beauty by Sharon C. I believe you can still find this brand at certain Walmarts and CVS. Let's see what this color looks like. This one is in Audacity. This color kind of reminds me of the Glamzilla collab with Nude Sticks. Like, it gives that bronzer, sun-kissed kind of look to the skin. So I'm going to get rid of this shade in Bougie AF, and we're going to keep the shade Audacity. I'm also going to get rid of these ColourPop powder blushes. Great formula, and I love ColourPop because they have so much variety, but I'm going to part ways with these. More pressed powder blushes from ColourPop. I'm going to keep this one in Swirled, and then Shortbread. No. Get rid of this one. I'm going to keep Swirled. So sad, Believe Beauty is officially discontinued. These were one of my favorite cream blush formulas, but unfortunately I'm going to just get rid of them because they're also very expired and old at this point. but RIP Believe Beauty. I loved this brand so much. I honestly want to get rid of a lot of like my super bright orangey kind of blushes because I really just don't use those kind of colors anymore as much as I used to. So I'm going to part ways with these Kokie blushes. This is the soft gradient blush. Beautiful, very pigmented. I believe Moira also has blushes like this too, but I just don't reach for these colors, so we're getting rid of them. I'm also going to get rid of this Makeup by Mario Soft Pop Plumping Blush Veil. I love the color Perfect Pink. It's like literally a perfect pink. This one is just a little bit too light for my skin, but I think if you have very fair skin, you would love this shade in Barely Blushing. It just doesn't really show up that much, and I like the Perfect Pink shade more. And then this one is in Rose Crush. I actually have not used this, but this looks like a really pretty sunburnt, again, kind of bronzery blush shade for summer. I need to test this out. I'm going to keep. Here is that gradient blush I was telling you guys that Moira has. Signature Ombre Blusher in Mellow Pink. Oh, that's pretty. It's like a soft kind of apricot shade a little bit, but I like it because it's not too bright. This I'm going to keep. It has a touch of beige in there. I'm also going to donate the Soft Pop blush sticks from Makeup by Mario. This is a nice formula, but I prefer the cream blush formula and packaging, so I'm going to donate these. This is another Milk Makeup dupe, the Makeup Revolution Fast Base blushes. I'm going to actually get rid of these though because I don't reach for them, but they are really pretty. And I'm also going to donate this Kaja blush stamp, but this one is in the shade Saucy. So you have the stamp on one side and then the blush on the other, but the packaging is kind of bulky. It's cute, but I just prefer a regular blush, honestly. So I'm getting rid of this. This is another underrated blush formula. It's from AF94, the multi-use cheek and lip colors. Now that I just swatched these, they kind of remind me of the Rhode Pocket blushes. They just have that very creamy, hydrating feel to the cheeks. The finish is a little bit different. These have a little bit more of a luminosity to them, but 10 out of 10 for this formula. It's really good. Okay, realistically, I don't need all of these ombre blushes though, so I think I'm just gonna keep one, and I think it's gonna be this one from Kokie because it's a very pretty light pink in the shade Sweetheart, and I'm gonna part ways with these two because I don't need them. This is a good Dollar Tree find. LA Colors blush. This one is in Sweet Cheeks. For those of you who love that cool toned pink, this is a good one for $1.25. Love it. And then I have the Beauty Light ones from Charlotte Tilbury. This one is the blush, and then this is the highlighter. When it comes to Charlotte Tilbury, I personally love her powder blushes. I think these are fantastic, and I prefer this formula over this, especially with the packaging and everything. So I'm gonna get rid of these, and we're gonna keep the powder blushes. I'm also gonna get rid of this OYS blush because I kept the little minis that I showed you guys earlier. This is a bigger size, the full size I should say, and this one's in the color Curvy. I'm gonna donate it. It's beautiful, but I have the minis, so I don't need this one. This is another good Dollar Tree find from LA Colors, the Cream Gel blushes, and this one's in the color Talented Love. It's that really pretty light baby pink that you could use as a mixing shade. And then we have an Honest Beauty blush. I really like these. The packaging is I think it could be better. Like I wish the butterfly maybe had the color of the blush on it. That's just me being picky, but gorgeous formula. I'm just gonna get rid of this color in Plum Berry because I feel like these kind of deeper plums, they're just not the best for my skin tone, but they have gorgeous colors. I'm gonna get rid of this one, but I'm gonna show you some other ones that I really like. This Lush Lilac color is a really pretty color. Once you blend it in, you can see it's almost like pinky purple. And then we have some ColourPop blushes here. This color I like, Cherry Blossom Cream Blush. This I'm gonna keep. This one is in Whole Mood. It's like a light peach. I think I'm actually going to get rid of this one. And I'm also going to get rid of this one in Poppy, which is a bright orange. I am keeping some warm tone blushes, but I just don't want to keep too many. Love my Rare Beauty blushes, but I'm just going to move them to a different part of my beauty room because you see how the formula is kind of separating just because I have them kind of laid out versus standing up. So I'm going to move these, but I love these blushes. Are these little mini Rare Beauty blushes not the cutest thing? But since I have the big ones, I'm going to go ahead and donate these little minis. Okay, I have another Rare Beauty blush. Look at this color, Nearly Rose. I'm going to get rid of this one in Nearly Apricot, but I think I want to keep that rose shade. That looks like the most beautiful watermelon coral pink. And then we have my Half Caked blushes. The packaging on these is my favorite. I'm going to keep the shade Millions of Peaches. This is a nice peach color because it doesn't pull too orange. And this is a very dewy but buildable yet still really pigmented blush. And then we're going to part ways with the other shades that I have here because I don't need all of them. Also going to get rid of this CoverGirl All Over Dewy Tint because I'm going to keep the blush bombs instead of this formula, which is very natural. It's almost a little bit too natural. I remember this didn't really show up much on my skin, so I'm going to part ways with it. Next section. I think these I'm actually going to display here so we can see the color. This is my Patrick Ta blush collection. First Patrick Ta blush, love this one in Just Enough. I like this soft baby pink as a topper, we're gonna keep. Out of the Patrick Ta blush duos, I'm gonna donate the color She Knows Who She Is. This is a really pretty rich shade. My favorite Patrick Ta blush duo is She's That Girl. This one is in She's So LA. I think I'm actually gonna get rid of this one. Yes. Also gonna donate this color in She's Wanted. I'm gonna also donate this little mini Makeup Revolution blush in Pink Lady. This is really pretty though, but donate. And then I have this Sigma duo. It's a highlighter and blush that I'm also gonna donate. Very cute, but donating. And this is the last round of blushes on the table. I just have to give an honorable mention to one of my favorite blushes of all time, Burt's Bees Toasted Cinnamon. I ended up finding an extra one, like as a backup, because this one is so old at CVS. So if you're lucky, you can still get your hands on it, but it is the most beautiful, truly light cinnamon shade. I love this in the fall time, but I feel like even in the summer, this could be a really nice blush. First, let's get rid of this Catrice blush box. This one is in the shade Dolce Vita. It's a corally pinky shade, but I have so many of these already, clearly. Don't need it, let's donate. I'm getting rid of these Wet n Wild blushes because I don't love the formula, specifically this Pinch Me Pink. It looks like the most perfect soft pink, but it has so much glitter. It just doesn't look good on the cheeks. I feel like it just accentuates everything because it's literally sparkles on the face, which I'm just not a fan of that formula. It's pink, but with a bunch of golden glitter, so I'm gonna get rid of these. This is one of the most underrated blush duos. It's Relove by Makeup Revolution. You can find this brand at Walmart. And these duos are under $5 and such amazing quality, but I'm gonna get rid of this color Daydream just because it's a little bit too bright for my skin, but I'm gonna keep these other two, which are a little bit more of like beige tones, but I'm telling you, these really pack a punch. I don't know how they're so affordable, but the formula is fantastic. But let's donate this shade. I'm also going to part ways with these Essence Pure Nude Baked Blushes. When it comes to baked blushes, I have other favorites at the drugstore. And even with Essence, I have other blushes that I prefer over these. Also going to donate this Profusion blush palette. This, I believe, was from their festival collection that they did, but it was limited edition. And I'm also going to donate this Cheek Lover oil infused blush from Catrice. It's like a coral pink with a golden sheen. Also donating this Fenty Beauty Hot Cheeks Velour blush lighter in Juicy Peach. Beautiful. This was limited edition, but it's a really pretty baked blush. Let's donate it though. Two more blushes from Moira. The one up top is brand new, so I'm going to donate, and then the one on the bottom, this is also expired, so I'm going to get rid of this, but it's a pretty color in I Trust You. Getting rid of it, donating it. And here are all of the blushes that I decluttered. I think I did pretty good. There's a lot of good brands too, great blushes. Some of these formulas, just because they're not my personal favorite though, it's not to say that you might not like them, so it's all personal preference. And some of these too, the colors are just a little bit too bright or just things that I don't reach for, so it's like, why keep them? I might as well donate. So now what I'm going to do is just organize the blushes that I am keeping into these acrylic organizers, which are from Impressions Vanity. I'm going to try to organize as best as I can. I kind of want to do it by color, maybe by drugstore high end, we'll see. And I'm going to see if there's anything else that we could add to the declutter pile. This is another amazing cream blush formula. I need to use this more often because it's really good. It's from Dominique Cosmetics, the cream blush in Warm Peach Soft Pink. I also love how the color is on the bottom. It's Glow Recipe Watermelon Niacinamide Dewy Flush. Also really pretty, natural. If you're into like a no makeup look, this gives a nice, literally dewy flush. Also love these Too Faced blushes. So good. The Cloud Crush Blurring Blushes. They really are so airbrushed on the skin. Jouer blush duos. This one is in Cheeky Summer and it is the most beautiful summery blush. I just brought this with me in my makeup bag to the beach for the week and I was so impressed with this formula. I forgot how good it was. I'm gonna keep, I was actually gonna declutter and I'm so glad that I got to dabble into this before I got rid of it. I'm actually gonna be doing a full face of Jouer too, so stay tuned. And then the Kylie Cosmetics Lip and Cheek Glow Balm, also beautiful. This one is in Pink Me Up. And I love this formula. It is just so dewy and blendable and it gives the perfect wash of color. I really like these on the lips as well with a little lip liner. All right, I got rid of a few more blushes. These from Rare Beauty. I had some doubles of the same shade. I also got rid of these Pillow Talk Matte Beauty blush wands from Charlotte Tilbury. Really pretty shades. I just haven't reached for them in the last year, so I'm like, it's time to go. And this one is in Pink Pop, and then the red one is in Dream Pop. And then I found an extra one of these e.l.f. blushes as well. This one's in the shade Pinky Promise. It's the most gorgeous corally pink. It kind of looks like Happy from Rare Beauty. And then this is the progress I've made with the blushes that I'm keeping. And I have some extra space over here, which is fabulous. So I displayed all my liquid blushes like this. I'm not going to leave them like this. I wanted to just see what I had and what I had doubles of. I want to get some organizers so I can put these standing up rather than inside my drawers. In this entire section, most of these are all drugstore, and then we have all of my higher end blushes over here. Minus this bottom section, I added just kind of like more miscellaneous palettes that just fit nicely right in there. But I love how everything is not completely stacked on top of each other, and I can see everything as I pull the drawers out. I mean, we have a few little stacks over here just because I wanted to make it all work and fit into this section and just keep it all high end. And the drugstore section is also very satisfying. It just feels so good to see everything. This just gets me excited for my Shop My Stash videos. That's why I've been wanting to do this, because it's been such a mess in here. That's why I haven't done them, but now it's looking so much better. So I ended up going to TJ today. I found these organizers for $6.99, and this is exactly what I was looking for. So I got two, and I'm gonna just put all of my liquid blushes in these. Organizers worked out beautifully. I love the way these display all of the blushes. It's exactly what I wanted. And now we have some good variety still. Of course, these blushes are still excessive. It's literally blush for a lifetime, but I love the way everything looks. It is so much better too because the drawers aren't as crammed and filled to the brim. And we have mostly my high-end blushes on this side, but I had to put these Say blushes here on the bottom because I found them in my stash and they fit beautifully there. So I'm gonna just leave those there for now because I don't have any more room in these little spinning organizers. And then these are officially all the blushes that I'm gonna be getting rid of. I seriously feel so much lighter just from getting rid of all of those. I think I got rid of about 50% and we kept 50, so mission complete. Make sure to let me know your top 5 favorites down below, drugstore, high-end. I want to hear all your favorite blushes. If you enjoy the declutters, then definitely stick around and subscribe because we're going to be tackling, I don't know what we're doing next, but we're going to be doing, I think, the eyeshadow palettes, but there's still much more to go in the beauty room, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Bye!